जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभो, जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभो, जय जय माखन चोर, जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की, श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी पधारे हुए
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. I extend my heartfelt gratitude and warm welcome to all the senior Vaishnavas of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I also extend my deep gratitude and warm welcome to all the Vaishnavas who have joined us on numerous platforms like Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. I welcome each one of you to the first day's Katha of this 335th Bhagvatam Katha on the beautiful topic, which is Shabari's Ram. I also welcome my utmost welcome and deep gratitude to the host family who are from 3 different continents, which is Europe, Australia, and Africa, who have organized this beautiful Katha in the loving memory of the departed souls who are Damchi Bhai, Devji Bhai, Dudiben Damchi Bhai, Kanji Bhai, Damchi Bhai, Jaya Ben Kanji Bhai, Chotu Bhai, Damchi Bhai, Jasu Ben, Chotu Bhai, Prabhudas Bhai, Damchi Bhai. So this beautiful Katha has been organized in the loving memory of these departed souls. So from London we have Naveen Bhai and Ranjan Ben, son and daughter-in-law to late Damji Devji Soni, Ramesh Bhai and Murli Ben, son and daughter-in-law to late Damji Devji Soni. From Australia we have Arvind Bhai and Indra Ben, son and daughter-in-law to late Kanchi Damchi Patni. Then we have our host family from Nairobi, Shubha Ben, wife to late Prabhudas Damchi Patni. I extend my heartfelt gratitude and welcome to each one family member of this host family. Must I say that the Pitru of this family are so great, are so blessed, just like as the kings and queens of Raghukul, when remembered, the heart gets purified just in a similar way. Remembering the Pitrus of this Patni family, the heart and the life gets blessed. So we have these great departed souls like Damchi Bhai, Devji Bhai, Dudhi Mata Damchi Bhai, Kanji Bhai, Damchi Bhai, Jaya Ben Kanji Bhai, Chotu Bhai, Damchi Bhai, Jasu Ben, Chotu Bhai, Prabhudas Bhai, Damchi Bhai. So once again, I welcome each one of you to the first day katha of this 335th katha. Usually when the katha is organized, the katha is held for the punya of the Pitru. But you see, but this is a special case that the Pitru of this family have done such wonderful, blessed jobs and works in their lives that this entire family is under the blissful umbrella of Bhagavatam Katha and listening to the Bhagavatam Katha. Last year, we all heard the beautiful Katha about Kebut and Shri Shabari Mata. So this is the same family. This is the same Pitru, Damji Bappa and Didi Mataji had welcomed Srila Prabhupada and washed the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. You can see this in the picture on the screens before you. Damji Bappa washed the lotus feet and Didi Mata applied the tilak to Srila Prabhupada. You see, I would only say that we should remember these beautiful blessed souls and we must sit with their family members of these blessed souls. This would be blissful for all of us. Looking at these two pictures, what one can remember is that Damji Bappa, as he's washing the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, is similar to Kevaji washing the lotus feet of Lord Shri Ram. Just as Kevat applied tilak on Shri Ram's forehead, such is the same instance of the Dimata applying tilak on the forehead of Srila Prabhupada.
તમે બધા ફાટા ફરો છો ને ઈ આ દૂધી માતા અને દામજી બાપાની કૃપાથી અને આજે અમે બધા આ બધો કથાનો સૌભાગ્ય અને લાભ લેવા જઈ રહ્યા છીએ એ આવા પિતૃઓના આશીર્વાદ કૃપા એમના ભાવ અને સમર્પણથી આજે ભગવત કથાનું શ્રવણ કરવા જઈ રહ્યા છે. वैसे तो हम सब एक साथ जुड़े हुए थे, लेकिन इस व्यासपीठ से 3 महीने के बाद
Though we all have always been connected, but particularly talking about this Vyas Asan, we are meeting after 3 long months. So when you see, after 3 months when we are starting this katha, you see, I am overwhelmed to see each one of you that even my screens are falling short. Devotees from India, London, Nairobi, Australia, Britain, the Netherlands, you name a country and we have the devotees. I am falling short of time to call out the names of each one of you. But looking at each one of you, you see, I am able to recall a poem of one of the saints. If you allow, I wish to recite that before you. You see, I would love to recite that before you.
मिलती है प्रेमियों की संगत कभी कभी, मिलती है प्रेमियों की संगत कभी कभी, नाम की रंगत कभी कभी चढ़ती है श्याम नाम की रंगत, कभी कभी मिलती है प्रेमियों की। आप सब प्रेमी हो इसलिए मिलती है प्रेमियों की संगत, कभी कभी फिर खो न जाए हम दुनिया की भीड़ में, फिर खो न जाए हम दुनिया की भीड़ में, मिलती है पास आने की मोहलत, कभी कभी मिलती है पास आने की मोहलत, कभी कभी। सो मिलती है पास आने की मोहलत कभी कभी।
So you see, coming closer is an opportunity that occurs not very often, but very occasionally. And when do we get to have that? It gets to happen when we meet on Amrit Charcha Parivar and the Katha is hosted by Patni family. You see, as I recited these lines, I am reminded of some original lines related to this. If you allow, I would want to say that as well.
होती है दिल बारों की इनायत, कभी कभी।
जो लोग अपनी स्क्रीन बंद करके बैठे हैं उन लोगों के लिए एक फेंक रहा हूं। जो लोग
Those who have their cameras off, this is a bouncer, definitely for them.
सवाल पर शर्मा के मुंह ना फेर, नजर के सवाल पर।
क्यों
लाती है ऐसे मोड़ पर किस्मत, कभी कभी लाती है ऐसे मोड़ पर किस्मत, कभी कभी मिलती है प्रेमियों की संगत, कभी कभी चढ़ती है श्याम नाम की रंगत, कभी कभी।
सो मिलती है प्रेमियों की संगत कभी कभी।
So very rarely do we get to have the company of the premis, of the devotees. It only gets to happen when Amrit Charcha conference happens. So I welcome each one of the devotees out here. So now let us give a go ahead to this Prem Yajna. Before I set on to this Katha, Amit Narayan Prabhu just reminded me that last 3 months I was in Bhagvat Gita, and in that Bhagvat Gita, you see, because Amit Narayan Prabhu was along with me,
की कृपया करके निवेदन करें। मुझे तो कल क्या किया था वो भी याद नहीं रहता, क्योंकि अब मेरे दिल दिमाग में शबरी माता ही घूम रही है।
You see, I actually do not even remember what happened and what went by yesterday.
लेकिन इन्होंने कहा कि गोविंद
But
सिस्टम में भेजा।
Amit Narayan Prabhu requested me that Govind TV has captured certain memories of the 3 months. Let us have a look
की यात्रा को हम
of the memories of these 3 months.
थोड़ा सा वर्णन करेंगे और फिर भागवत
Let us have a glimpse of all the memories of the past 3 months
याद तो आ ही जाता है।
of our Bhagvat Yatra in India. This is the Vyaspeeth of Haridwar that you can see on your screen.
शायद मई महीना था, यस।
This was perhaps the month of May.
हरिद्वार धाम में हजारों
So it was the month of May
भागीरथी माँ गंगा के तट पर
that
श्री गंगा मैया की
we had the first Katha. All glories to Ganga Maya.
सुमा गंगा का पावन जल है।
Beautiful, pure, blissful waters of Sri Ganga Maya.
कथा का गान हुआ, श्रीमद् भागवत कथा का श्रवण हुआ।
Shrimad Bhagvatam Katha was organized on the banks of River Ganga. The topic being Venu Geet.
वेणु गीत के ऊपर कथा हुई
The Katha was organized on Venu Geet.
और समय
Katha would happen throughout the day, and whenever time would permit, Haridwar was explored.
इसको आप जानते हो?
I'm sure you know this gentleman in black goggles and a black cap.
ये
This
यात्रा लीड कर रहे हैं।
is the gentleman who led the entire yatra. This perhaps is
प्रजापति ने यज्ञ
Kankhal, where Daksh Prajapati conducted the yagna
सती माता ने
and Sati Mata gave up upon her morty.
हरिद्वार कथा के दौरान कनखल दक्ष यज्ञ स्थली में भी हम सब गए, वहां दर्शन हुआ। सारे भक्त माँ गंगा की आरती, पूजा, स्नान आदि किए।
All the devotees went on to have holy dip in the holy river and listening to Shrimad Bhagavatam Katha. After Haridwar, we set for Vrindavans. These are all the pictures, Nagar Sankirtan pictures of Haridwar. This is a very beautiful place in Haridwar. This is Saptarishi Ghat. It was at this place that the Saptarishis meditated, and just very nearby to this place flows river Ganga, and very near to this also we conducted Shrimad Bhagavatam Katha. All the kids conducted Kirtan. This is Prasadam Hall, sumptuous Prasadam. So this was Haridwar Katha. After this,
कहावत है ना, ठंडा मतलब कोका कोला,
just as toothpaste means Colgate in India,
चीज इतनी फेमस हो चुकी है कि उस चीज के नाम से ही पूरी ब्रांड बन जाती है। तो जैसे टूथपेस्ट मतलब
toothpaste means Colgate, Thanda means Coca-Cola. Similarly, Bhagavad Katha standard means it is Garg families organize beautiful Katha at Shrimad Vrindavan Dham. If there is any Bhagavad Katha, it should be like what was hosted by Garg family. So these are the pictures of Pothi Yatra. All the family members, the elderly and the kids. So see, you people sit on the horse once, but you see, The Bhagvat Katha is on the house throughout the life.
कथा के
Very beautiful Katha.
रोज ड्रेस कोड हुआ करता था.
During the Katha, there was a particular dress code.
काले रंग के पहनने हैं.
Be it red on a day, yellow or green.
So इस प्रकार से
So in this way, beautiful Katha was organized for 7 days.
दौरान बच्चों के द्वारा सुंदर नृत्य
And during the Katha, Nrit Natikas were presented by the young
और
kids.
विशेषता ये थी कि भारत
The unique thing about this beautiful Katha was that
नष्ट होते हुए भी
despite being such huge
हमारे वहाँ एक शब्द है ना
families, respected families,
डाउन टू द अर्थ नहीं अर्थ में भी
the fact was
बैठने वाले ये
all such
गर्ग परिवार
respected people became so humble that they would sit on the ground
के दौरान
and listen to the Katha.
बहुत सुंदर यहाँ पर आयोजन हुआ. कथा के
Beautiful. Sumptuous prasadam was served, and you see, during the Katha, Guru Maharaj arrived at the Katha venue. What can be more beautiful than this?
में रहते हैं और वृंदावन में वे पधारे.
Srila Gurudev arrived at the Katha venue, and this was very soothing to the heart.
जी की रोज पूजा होती थी.
Bhagavad would be worshipped every day,
कथा के अंत
and when very beautiful
वृंदावन के सभी
event was there,
संतों को
at the end of the Katha, all the saints and sadhus of Vrindavan were served by the Garg family.
बहुत सुंदर यह आयोजन. इसको जानते हो आप? ये
I'm sure you can recognize this gentleman before you on your screens.
तत्पश्चात और एक हिस्ट्री
After this, one more history got to be created.
कथा हुई. फिर वृंदावन में
Haridwar, then Vrindavan, then back to back.
रहा था.
You see, just in a day's gap, everything was turning from Haridwar to Vrindavan. From Vrindavan,
कथा हुई.
we got to host the Katha at Faridabad, just near to Delhi.
विशेषता ये रही
And when very beautiful
कि इस कथा में
thing about this Katha was that
चतुर्श्लोकी भागवत
a very contemporary topic was picked up,
श्लोक में की गई स्तुति.
Chaturshloki Katha,
और जब ये भागवत शुरू की गई
the prayer done by Vrittasur.
एक श्लोक पर ही 6 दिन बीत गए.
Interestingly, just on one shloka, 6 days went by on one shloka. And if I need to elaborate further, just on one word, 6 days passed by.
दासानुदासो भवितास्मि भूय मान स्मरेत सुपते गुणास्ते गृणीत वाक कर्मा करोतु काय अहम हरे तव पादैक मूलम. इस शब्द के ऊपर 6 दिन बीत गए.
6 days went by on this one particular word. As Vrittasur said, O Hari,
का दास बनना चाहता हूँ.
I want to be a slave, a servant to the devotees who have taken shelter at your lotus feet. 6 days passed by only on this, and in one day we delivered upon other shlokas.
यानी कि 22 दिन बीत गए.
So this way 22 days went by in 3 Bhagvat Katha. Then I arrived at Mumbai.
कथा हुई
In Mumbai we had the 4th Katha at Juhu.
लाडली राधा माता के द्वारा.
This Katha was organized by Ladli Radha Mataji.
सुंदर
Here also a history was created. a very beautiful katha was organized.
कथा के दौरान ड्रामा, नाच,
During the katha, drama, sankirtan, dancing, everything was done.
तत्पश्चात
Post
हमारी
this,
कुटिया में, जहाँ मुंबई में हम रहते हैं,
at Mumbai, where I live,
परम पूज्य
we had the fortune
स्वामी महाराज
of arrival of Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj.
सेवा ग्रहण की और महाराज जी ने कुटिया को पवित्र किया।
Maharaj ji blessed
पूज्य
us.
गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज घर पर आए और आज हमारी कथा में इनका जिक्र हो रहा है। तो मैं आपको बता दूं कि
You
पिछली
see,
एकादशी को
last
यानी
Ekadashi,
परसों
which is this day before yesterday,
गोस्वामी महाराज का जन्मदिन,
it was the birthday of Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj.
इन्हें व्यास पूजा कहते हैं।
So this is actually called as Vyas Puja.
गोस्वामी महाराज की व्यास पूजा मनाई गई।
So Vyas Puja was celebrated day before yesterday.
भक्तों ने अपना अपना अनुमोदन व्यक्त किया। अब
Many devotees presented their address and Anumodan.
रूपी पुष्प चढ़ा दूं, हाँ?
I would also want to offer
नहीं चाहिए।
my
पूज्य
words
कृष्ण गोस्वामी
for
महाराज
Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj.
कहना हो,
I want to say just one sentence about
पूरे जगत
Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj.
शिल प्रभुपाद जी को साक्षात रूप में हमने नहीं देखा।
We have not
पर्सनली शिल
personally seen Srila Prabhupada, who has brought about the revolution in the entire world.
जी ने नहीं देखा। जब हम गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज को देखते हैं,
But whenever
एहसास होता है
we get to see
प्रभुपाद जी ऐसे ही होंगे।
Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, we can just think that yes,
सेवा में
perhaps
लगे हुए
Srila Prabhupada was certainly like
और
him.
इतनी इतनी मेहनत परिश्रम
Continuously he is
इस उम्र
under the services of Sri Radha
आरती नहीं
Krishna,
करते हैं।
and he never misses even at this ripe age
अवसर में मंगला आरती
any
पूज्य गोपाल
Mangla
कृष्ण
Aarti.
गोस्वामी महाराज के द्वारा। मेरे जीवन में तो मैं तो बचपन से ही महाराज जी के साथ हूँ।
From my childhood, I have been in the company of Srila
एक दिन मैं गोपाल कृष्ण
Param
महाराज
Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. I can recall one incident
जी की उंगली
when
में
I
उनकी दृष्टि
went
गई
to meet Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj,
और
and I got to,
मेरी अंगूठी
I saw that Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was looking forward where his fingering has been missing.
मन में स्वाभाविक हुआ, महाराज जी चिंता मत करो, खो गई तो हम नई अंगूठी बनवा लेंगे, हमें
I had this
मिलेगा।
natural thought that, oh Maharaj, if it has gone missing, we will get an opportunity to serve your new ring. But he was
तब
so
महाराज जी ने सामने से ही कहा, तुम जानते हो
desperate about this finger ring.
भाई क्यों?
And then Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said, do you know why I was getting so desperate about this finger ring? Because Srila Prabhupada
प्रदान की थी।
used to wear this and he had gifted this finger ring to me.
प्रगाढ़ श्रद्धा आस्था ऐसे परम पूज्य गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज।
This is how
इंसिडेंट
Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj is. I can recall one more incident about him.
महाराज जी के साथ बैठे थे,
Once we were sitting with Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and Brahmachari, who is a devotee of Maharaji. He happened to visit him.
अपने साथ में लेकर आए
He had brought with him a very
प्रणाम करो तो वो डोनर
huge donor
डोनेशन देने वाले
along with him.
महाराज जी के चरणों में प्रणाम किया।
And the donor was asked to offer obeisances at the lotus feet
तो ब्रह्मचारी ने
of Maharaj
को
ji.
इशारा किया कि महाराज जी आपके गले में जो माला है वो इसको पहना दो।
And this brahmachari indicated to Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj
अब
to
वो
offer him the garland that he is wearing.
खोया हुआ है,
So this donor is just
डोनर पहना दो।
offering his obeisances. Brahmachari indicated, Maharaj, must you offer your garland to him? And Maharaj was reluctant to offer.
नहीं मैं नहीं दूंगा,
But Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj
प्रणाम करेगा।
was reluctant not to give.
फिर
And by that time the donor had walked out.
महाराज जी आपके गले में जो माला है
Then Brahmachari
प्रसाद के रूप में दे दो।
said a little
अब शिष्य ने
loudly
बार बार कहा,
that Maharaj, kindly offer your garland
हुई घटना कह रहा हूँ।
to this donor.
कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज डांट
Now when the devotee had said this to Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj,
क्योंकि ये
Maharaj said,
बिहारी जी की माला है।
I do not want to give this garland to anyone because this is of Radha Ras Bihari. But because you are forcing me to offer him, then must you remember, not a single petal should be falling on the ground from this mala. So this is what his devotion towards the garland of Radha Ras Bihari. You see, today we don't care. Just like politicians, they wear and they remove. Let the petals be thrown out here and there. We might have commitment towards the Lord, towards the holy name of the Lord, towards the things of the Lord. But we rarely have that much of commitment and care about the petals of the garland falling on the ground. This is the beauty of such a highly elevated devotee, Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and we got the wonderful opportunity to serve him to some degrees. After this, you see,
तत्पश्चात जगन्नाथ जी की रथ यात्रा.
after this we had the Rath Yatra of Jagannath Ji
गोस्वामी महाराज की व्यास पूजा.
and the Vyas Puja of Param Pujya Rajya Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj at Mira Road.
लेकिन मीरा रोड में सबसे भव्य व्यास पूजा होती है.
So the Vyas Puja of Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj is organized world over, but very grand celebrations were held at Mira Road.
So ये व्यास पूजा ये 50 साल की हिस्ट्री में पहला योग बना.
In the 50 years of history,
और उस व्यास पूजा में भक्ति पुरुषोत्तम स्वामी और
Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj and Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj were present in the Vyas Puja of Shri Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj. This coincidence happened for the first time in 50 years. After this, we had Jagannath Rath Yatra. Jagannath Swami Ki Jai. The Ditya of Ashad month, Mumbai Mira Road Rath Yatra. Thousands of people, thousands of devotees participated. I also got the opportunity to offer my services for Kirtan. This was the Rath Yatra of Jagannath Ji. After Jagannath Yatra, we headed for Gaushala. So you see, this is India. We don't need to climb the stairs, rather cross the track. So from Mumbai, we have reached Gujarat at Daular station. From here, at a distance of 15 minutes is Radha Govind Goswami.
आप चिंता मत करें, यहाँ ट्रेन नहीं आती, दिन में एक ही बार ट्रेन आती है.
This train only comes once.
ये गौशाला के सामने भव्य सुंदर
Opposite to Goshala is a very beautiful temple.
और ये है गौशाला.
This is our Goshala. Shri Radha Govind Goswami ki jai.
सर्वप्रथम गौ माता.
First of all, we worship Gau Mata.
गौ माता की सेवा करने का सुंदर अवसर. हम तो बन ही गए थे गोपाल.
I had gone on to become a go. If anyone wants to learn from me how to graze a cow, I can definitely give you that training. Grazing the cow, this opportunity, then chanting the holy name, this beautiful opportunity we got to have. Sitting amongst the Gaumata, some meditation, some yoga, some dhyan. The most beautiful experience was having the chapatis baked in Gaushala. On one hand, we had the milk and the butter of Gaumata, and on this chulha, just as it is there in a village, and the chapati of bajra.
उसी गौशाला में बैठकर बस हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि कब आप सब लोग यहाँ आओगे.
I just look forward when would you all arrive here and get engaged in this beautiful service. Perhaps it is to inspire you that Govind TV is making you have a look at this. Such beautiful bajra roti and butter. Sports are also organized in Gaushala.
So, गौ माता के साथ सब कुछ होता है, खाना पीना. और फिर गौशाला से निकट हम लोग
Then from Gaushala we went to Gir.
और गिर के उस वन में विचरण किए. तुलसी
We got to
का दर्शन किए.
visit the forest. And when we talk about Gir, how can we forget the Gir lions?
तुम्हें समझो ना, सिंह जो है गुजरात में ही बचे हैं. so ये सब हमारे केवल 5 फीट दूर हैं. ये सब
These lions are just 5 feet away from us, sleeping and some climbing the trees.
इन सिंह को देखकर 2 पंक्ति हमने वहां गाई थी.
Looking at these lions, we recited 2 lines there. If you allow me, I would want to speak that here as well.
सिंह को देखकर एक बहुत सुंदर भजन है कि भक्ति का मार्ग कैसा है. तो वे भजन में कहते हैं, मार्ग छे शुरा पुरानो, मार्ग छे शुरा पुरानो. काम નથી, એમાં કાયર નરના કામ નથી. मार्ग छे शुरा पुरानो. भक्ति का मार्ग जो है ना, शूरवीरों का मार्ग है.
The path of bhakti is the path of the brave and the shurveer. Ordinary person cannot do bhakti. In order to pursue bhakti, one has to be as brave as a lion.
न करे અને કોઈ કો પાછો કદી ન ફરે. કાપો તે મરે કે બીજાને મારે. કાપો તે મરે કે બીજાને મારે. પણ પાછા પગલા ભરતો નથી. मार्ग छे शुरा पुरानो. रोंगटे खड़े करने वाली पंक्ति. कहता है केसरी कोप कदी न करे. वनराज केसरी सा गिरनो हावज छे बाप. हम लोग जब सिंह की कल्पना करते हैं,
Whenever we talk about lion, whenever we imagine lion, the only picture that comes across us is
और हमको मार देगा. नहीं, केसरी सिंह के विषय में कवि लिखते हैं, केसरी कोप कदी न करे. और हमने आंखों से देखा, हमसे 5 फीट दूर ये खड़े हैं. ये केवल
these lions are just 5 feet away from us.
પણ કેસરી કોપ કદી ન કરે, લેકિન સિંહ बिना वजह बिना कारण क्रोध नहीं करता.
But you see, a lion does not get ferocious, does not get annoyed or angry without a reason. But just in case somebody teases him, it would not spare the teaser. Either it shall die for itself or would kill the teaser.
सिंह या स्वयं मर जाए या सामने वाले को मारे, लेकिन वो
Either the lion would die itself or would kill the opponent. Just like that is a devotee. Either a devotee would attain Lord or would completely ruin himself, but a devotee will never retreat, would never withdraw. A devotee always moves forward, continues to walk forward. One more thing that we must learn from the lion is
हमको बाहर से कुछ ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, सच कहें तो शूरवीरता या खुमारिता ये बाहर से
bravery cannot be injected or cannot be installed from outside.
नीति में सिंह के विषय में लिखा है.
You see, many commentators have written about lion, something like this. In the forest, neither the lion is given abhishek or that he is given Raj Tilak or that animals come together and declare that from today the lion becomes the king of the jungle.
विक्रम अर्जित्व स्वस्तस्य, वो सिंह का राजापना जो होता है ना, वो
The kingliness of the lion is from within. It is not imposed or nor it is voted upon by somebody. The king, the lion actually is the king right from its birth.
उसी प्रकार हम सबको अंदर से स्ट्रांग होना है.
And in a similar way, we all need to be motivated from within. We need to be strong from within.
3 महीने की यात्रा में गौशाला गए, वहां से निकट ये गिर शासन के वन में गए और बिल्कुल यहाँ बैठे हुए मित्रों का दर्शन किए. तत्पश्चात नागेश्वर,
After this, we visited Nageshwar.
महादेव का दर्शन, और
So we visited Nageshwar darshan and then we headed for Somnath. Shri Somnath Dev ki jai.
12 ज्योतिर्लिंग में से एक श्री सोमनाथ,
One of the Jyotirling among the 12 Jyotirlings of India, situated on the coast.
विराजमान है. पूरे भारत में सब शिव जी का सबसे अधिक धनी मंदिर यदि कोई रहा तो सोमनाथ.
If there is any temple which has been richest Shiva temple, it is Somnath temple. 17 times it has been raided, but still it stands erect atop the world. And finally we reached Dwarika. So now when we have reached Dwarika, must be engaged in some kirtana.
દ્વારિકાનો નાથ મારો રાજા રણ છોડ છે, એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે. હો રાધે. દ્વારિકાનો નાથ મારો રાજા રણ છોડ છે, એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે. એણે મને માયા લગાડી મારા વાલા. રાધે. એણે મને માયા લગાડી મારા વાલા. મીરાનો નાથ મારો ગિરધર ગોપાલ છે, એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે.
મીરાનો નાથ મારો ગિરધર ગોપાલ છે, એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે.
एक बहुत सुंदर कार्य आप सब भक्तों की कृपा से, आप सब
Very
भक्तों
beautiful event, all because of the support of you people. See, Lord Krishna stayed here for 100 years, and this is Bet Dwarika, in the middle of the ocean. We get to reach Bet Dwarika, and then came the most important 52 Gaj Dwaja. We got to have the opportunity of offering 52 Gaj Dwaja, the flag. This is the worshipping of the Dwaja. So this Dwaja was offered atop the temple.
લગાડી રે.
દ્વારિકાનો નાથ મારો રાજા રણ છોડ છે, એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે.
आइए आप भी साथ में चलिए, सब लोग अपने सर पर ध्वजा ले लीजिए.
You all accompany me to offer this Dwaja to Dwarka Desh. Must you all carry this Dwaja on your head?
દ્વારિકાનો નાથ મારો રાજા રણ છોડ છે, એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે.
દ્વારિકાનો નાથ મારો રાજા રણ છોડ છે, એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે.
और ध्वजा के साथ साथ
Along with the offering of the Dwaja, you see there are 4,000 Brahmins who live in Dwarka. So that day, the seva of offering meal to 4,000 Brahmins. And don't you all worry, I had offered this offering, taking the names of each one of you. After Dwarka comes Sridham Mayapur. We went to reach Mayapur.
दर्शन एवं कथा आदि हुई और फिर मायापुर के बाद पहुंचे श्री जगन्नाथ.
After Mayapur, we went to Jagannath Puri. Shri Jagannath Puri ki jai. Shri Jagannath Bhagwan ki jai.
यह है गुंडीचा मंदिर.
This is Gundicha Mandir at Jagannath Puri.
यात्रा वापस आई, सब लोग. हाँ, ये मैं गोविंद टीवी की ऑफिस में
This is Govind TV's office.
टीवी के मेंबरों को मिलने का सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ.
I had the opportunity to meet the members of Govind TV.
और फिर अंत में भारत में अंतिम
And lastly,
फंक्शन था जन्माष्टमी.
the last function was Janmashtami at Mumbai.
वहां पर जन्माष्टमी और फिर अभिषेक.
So we celebrated Janmashtami and the Abhishek of Radha Krishna. We had Kirtanam, some cultural programs.
इस प्रकार से
So this is how we spent 3 months in India.
निवेदन किया था अमित नारायण प्रभु ने
So a special request was made by Amit Narayan Prabhu
3 महीने में
that
यात्रा हुई,
whatever
दर्शन
events
कराए।
were
बहुत
organized
सारी चीजें हैं, गोविंद टीवी ने
in
जितने
3
program भेजे
months,
थे, उसको याद
so in
करके
short,
सबके बीच में
a
रखा।
glimpse memory we share with each one of
कि
you.
हम जहाँ भी गए आप सबको याद किए, आप
But
सबके behalf में
must you trust me that I had offered my obeisances on the behalf of each one of you.
हम सबको मिली। So आइए
We all must consider ourselves as blessed
हम
with this 3 months
पूरे
yatra.
परिवार के द्वारा
And now, after 3 months, let us start
गत
the Katha hosted by Patani family. The same family had organized last year Kevat,
और संकल्प था
and you see the resolution was,
कि हमारे दामजी बापा ने शिल प्रभुपाद जी के चरण धोए,
as I mentioned earlier, Sri Damji Bapa was the lotus feet of Lord Shri Ram, and in that sense, we have remembered Damji Bapa and Dudi Mata had offered Tilak to Srila Prabhupada, and in that memory, we would talk about Shabari Mata.
आने वाले इन 7 दिनों में
In the upcoming 7 days,
महिमा है,
we would talk about Shabari Mata,
रामायण
the life story of Shri Shabari Mata.
जितना भी हमने
We
सुना
would
है, जानते हैं,
elaborate upon Shabari Mata.
प्रयास करेंगे। शबरी माता के जीवन से क्या सीखने लायक है?
What can be learned from the life of Shabari Mata? Who is Shabari Mata? If it had to be summed up in just one word,
साक्षात मूर्ति है शबरी।
Shabari Mata is the epitome of patience.
मूर्ति है शबरी। किसी की
She is the pinnacle of patience.
तो राह देखने का पर्याय है शबरी।
If you have to wait for somebody,
पर्यायवाची शब्द
then that wait is the symbol,
बोलने की जरूरत नहीं,
or Shabari Mata is the symbol of that wait. If you are waiting for somebody, you can say that I have been standing here just like Shabari.
देखने का पर्याय बन गया है ये शबरी, क्योंकि इस माता ने अपने
To wait for someone has become symbolic of Shabari Mata, because Shabari Mata, the manner and extent to which she waited for Shri Ram is unmatched and unparalleled.
अद्भुत भगवान की राह देखने की जो सीमा थी वो है शबरी। ऐसे शबरी माता के पावन चरित्र को हम सब आज से श्रवण करेंगे।
So we would talk about and deliver upon Shabari Mata's and her role, her life in Ramayan. Before we do that, let us have a short break for some information announcement.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So thank you very much to His Grace LalGovindDas Prabhu जी कि बहुत ही सुंदर हम सबको यहाँ पर गत ये जो 3 महीने के दर्शन कराएं, और दर्शन कराने के पीछे हमारा मोटो यही था कि प्रभु जी हमारे जो अमृत चर्चा परिवार के सभी स्नेही जन है जो हमारे साथ में जुड़े हुए हैं, somehow some places they were able to join us and some places they were not. So just thought कि आप सबको वो स्मरण कराएं, उस दर्शन को आपको भी वृंदावन को स्मरण करने का अवसर मिले, हरिद्वार को स्मरण करने का अवसर मिले। एंड वन ऑफ द बेस्ट थिंग इज दैट द्वारका जहाँ पर हमने दर्शन किए और भगवान श्री द्वारकाधीश को ध्वजा हमने आरोहण की, विच वॉज 52 गज जो प्रभु जी ने बताया, और ये सारे आनंद हमने लिया। तो हमारा एक कर्तव्य है कि हमारे इस परिवार को भी हम उसमें जोड़े, और देरी ही सही बट उस आनंद का लाभ उनको दिलाना, यही हमारा एक मोटो था। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी, बहुत ही सुंदर आपने इस सारे दर्शनों का वर्णन किया, और विशेष इसी बीच हमारे परम पूज्य गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की जो व्यास पूजा आई, और उस व्यास पूजा के अंतर्गत आपने जिन सुंदर शब्दों से महाराज जी का गुणानुवाद किया है, और महाराज जी के कुछ पास टाइम हमें श्रवण कराए। सो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभु जी, हमें भी महाराज जी के इस दिव्य गुणों को आस्वादन करने श्रवण करने को मिला आपके मुखारविंद से। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी। और जैसे प्रभु जी ने बताया कि गत वर्ष हमने यहाँ पर हमारे इसी पत्नी परिवार के द्वारा यह सुंदर केवट प्रसंग हमने आस्वादन किया था, और इस कथा में हम यहाँ पर माता सबरी के गुणों का वर्णन जो कि हम श्रवण करेंगे। प्रभु जी ने अभी रिसेंटली जस्ट बताया दैट द मीनिंग ऑफ सबरी इज जो पर्यायवाची शब्द है, जो किसी भगवान की जो वेट करना जो माता सबरी ने किया है, दैट नोबडी एल्स कुड डू। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभु जी आपका इन सारे संक्षिप्त दर्शन के लिए, और साथ ही साथ माता सबरी की जो आपने कुछ व्याख्या अभी बताई उसके लिए। और जैसे हमने अभी देखा ना कि कैसे हम द्वारका में गए और वृंदावन गए, तो वी वर एबल टू फीड thousands ऑफ वैष्णवस जो वहाँ के लोकल रेसिडेंट्स थी वृंदावन के। साथ ही साथ यहाँ पर हमारे द्वारका में जो प्रभु जी ने बताया there are 4,000 brahmanas who resides within the Dwarka. So we got then opportunity to feed them, and इसी के साथ यहाँ पर इसी भागवत कथा में भी हमें बहुत सुंदर अवसर मिला है कि जहाँ पर हम प्रतिदिन वैष्णव को प्रसाद खिलाने का हमें सौभाग्य मिला है। हमारे ये जो पत्नी परिवार है जिन्होंने सुंदर सहयोग किया है, नॉट ओनली डूइंग गौ सेवा बट प्रभु जी ने बहुत ही सुंदर यहाँ पर वैष्णव को भी सेवा के लिए उन्होंने हमें प्रेरित किया कि आप प्लीज वैष्णव को भी सेवा कीजिए, क्योंकि उनकी भी आशीर्वाद बहुत ही आवश्यक है। जैसे हमने देखा कि ये जो फैमिली है हमारे पत्नी फैमिली, उनके ऊपर वैसे ही प्रभुपाद की इतनी असीम कृपा है कि हमारे दामजी बापा और दे वर वेरी क्लोज टू श्री प्रभुपाद, पर्सनल उनको मिल पाए, उनके चरण को पखार पाए, उनकी निजी सेवा कर पाए। तो हमारे लिए तो इन वैष्णव की सेवा करना, उनकी आज्ञा का पालन करना ही हमारा हमारे लिए प्रभुपाद की सेवा हो जाती है, क्योंकि somehow they were so fortunate that they got an opportunity to personally serve Srila Prabhupada. So very grateful to this Patni family who gave us a wonderful opportunity to serve them, and to this wonderful Vaishnavas who they are इन सब भक्तों को सेवा करने का अवसर मिला, तो उनके लिए हम उनका धन्यवाद करते हैं। और यस, हम दर्शन करते हैं हमारे गौशाला की गौ माता का विशेष, जिसकी यहाँ पर हम विशेष सेवा करते हैं इस 7 दिनों में भागवत कथा के अंतर्गत। तो आइए हम गौ माता के दर्शन करते हैं, और उसके पश्चात हम यहाँ पर पुनः ये जो प्रसंग हम श्रवण कर रहे हैं श्रीमद राम कथा के शबरी प्रसंग को हम श्रवण करेंगे। तो बहुत ही सुंदर यहाँ पर श्री राधा गोविंद गौशाला की गौ माता की सेवा का हम सबको अवसर मिला है। तो हम दर्शन कर ही रहे हैं, जहाँ पर प्रतिदिन हम यहाँ पर पुनः इस भागवत कथा के माध्यम से हमारी इस गौ माता का सेवा करने का अवसर मिला है। और विशेष हमारे पत्नी परिवार का धन्यवाद कि ये सुंदर भागवत कथा का उन्होंने आयोजन किया, और उसके फलस्वरूप हम यहाँ पर पुनः हमारी श्री गौ माता को इस प्रकार सुंदर सेवा करने का अवसर मिला। सो हम धन्यवाद करते हैं और प्रार्थना करते हैं हमारे इस पत्नी परिवार के लिए कि भगवान सदैव इसी प्रकार उनकी कृपा करुणा उन पर रखें, जिससे कि इसी प्रकार के कार्यक्रम हम भगवान की कृपा को प्राप्त कर सके, और इस प्रकार वैष्णव की सेवा तथा गौ माता की सेवा में लगे रहे। और सबसे विशेष जो हम दर्शन कर रहे हैं और श्रवण कर रहे हैं भगवान श्री राम की, माता सबरी की ऐसे सुंदर चरित्रों को हम आस्वादन करते रहे। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच। आइए हम निवेदन करते हैं हिज ग्रेस लाल गोविंद प्रभु जी को कि आज हम जो प्रसंग हम श्रवण करने जा रहे हैं माता सबरी का, उनके मुखार से श्रवण करें। धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवत।
So, Shrimad Bhagvat, Shabari's Ram, 335th Katha.
शबरी माता की महिमा
The
अनंत।
glory of Shabari Mata is infinite. The first thing,
चाहे भागवत या
be
रामायण,
it Bhagvat or Ramayan,
दो पात्र ऐसे हैं
there are two characters
बड़े फेमस है,
which are very famous,
है।
very, very
दुनिया
popular.
के छोटे बड़े सब लोग इस दो पात्र को जानते हैं, मानते भी हैं।
Every person, be it big or small, high or low,
पूरी रामायण में
are very well aware of these two
पूरी रामायण में
characters.
एक रामायण को पूरा कर दो उसे पूरी रामायण कहते हैं, लेकिन रामायण एक नहीं, शत कोटि अपारा 100 करोड़ रामायण है।
You see, there are 100 crores of Ramayan, and putting all these 100 crores Ramayan together, there are two characters.
आज तक कोई नहीं जान पाया।
There are two such characters whose names cannot or are unknown to anyone.
एक
One is
रामायण का केवट,
the Kevat of Ramayan.
हुआ था।
Last year we talked about Kevat.
रामायण में जो केवट है, जिस
You see, the Kevat of Ramayan, the Kevat who requested Lord Shri Ram, who performed beautiful Leela with Shri Ram, who washed the lotus feet of Shri Ram, who made Lord Ram cross river Ganga. But unfortunately, the name of such Kevat is not found with anyone. And the second character is Shabari. Shabari, who went on to offer services to her Guru Matang Rishi and spent all her life offering services to her Guru. Shabari, who went on to wait throughout her lifetime in the wait of Shri Ram, and Shri Ram consumed the eaten bear of Shabari Maya.
मैं आपको चांस मौका देना चाहता हूँ, इतने बड़े-बड़े विद्वान बैठे हैं, काशी।
These are two such characters
कोई जानता है? केवट का नाम, केवट कोई नाम
which are not known to many people. Kevat means somebody who roused the boat. Kevat is a community, not a name. Does anyone know the name of this Kevat? And Shabari also is a caste community. Because she was born in Shabarkul, hence she was called as Shabari. So it represents a community. But nobody gets to know the name of Shabari. Both the characters are so great. But you see, nobody gets to know the name of these two characters. You see what we get to learn from this incident? The biggest learning that we get to learn is, in case we need to attain Lord, one has to erase one's own name and identity. If we wish that we must become famous, we must become popular, certainly it shall happen, but you will not attain Lord. In case you need to attain Lord, you want to achieve Lord, must you erase and delete your name. You see, the saints of India have very beautiful said, when it was me, then there was no Hari. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं. When it was me, there was no Hari. When it is Hari, अब Hari है तो मैं नहीं. When it is Hari, then it is not me. When it was me, there was no Hari. When it is Hari, then it's not me. Why? Because the street of love is so narrow that there cannot be two who can be accommodated. The street of love is so narrow that there can only be one. It is only me or my Lord, my God. Very beautifully said by Kabirdas ji. Till the time there would be I and me in the life, then there shall be no hurry. You cannot attain Lord. And when there would be hurry, it shall not be me, it shall not be I at all. So you must do away with me. You must do away with I. There are two characters in entire history. There are only two characters in Ramayan who went in to attain Lord, but their names could not be known to anyone. No one could get to know their names. These two characters were so humble, maintained themselves to be so humble and simple that nobody could get to know their names. Must you remember one thing in your life, that whatever achievements and laurels you may achieve in your life, but if there are no qualities in you, good qualities in you, then all these achievements, all your laurels would actually vanish in the flip of a second. Be it your name, be it your fame, or your money. I am reminded of something. You see what is said about Hanumanji. It is said for Lord Hanuman,
हनुमान जी के विषय में कहते हैं हनुमान जी कैसे विद्यावान,
it is said about Lord Hanuman that he is Vidyavan.
अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, जो आठों सिद्धि और नव निधि दे सकता है,
The one who can offer Ash, Siddhi and Navnidhi. Imagine if he can offer Ash, Siddhi and Navnidhi, is there any task that he cannot establish? He is Chatur, intelligent, because he is Gunwan. That's the reason he has all such qualities.
सारी सिद्धि निधि तब तक नहीं टिकेगी जब तक हमारे जीवन में अपने से गुण नहीं होगा.
See, all these qualities will not stay until you would not have gun in your life. So the next question is, what ideally must be first quality in any individual? What ideally must be the first quality in any individual? And that is humility, humbleness. And even at the last, this is one quality which remains. And what is it? Humility and humble. Keep yourself so humble and remain so humble in your life that nobody can recognize you. Kevat maintained himself very humble, and so was the case with Shabari. Absolutely humble, and that is the reason their devotion was stable and they could attain Lord Ram. Otherwise, imagine, was not Ravan intelligent enough? Was not Ravan having the knowledge? You see, all the qualities of Lord Hanuman was also in possession with Ravan.
अष्ट सिद्धि थी, नौ निधि थी, रावण के पास विद्या थी, ये सब कुछ होते हुए भी रावण मारा गया.
But despite all these qualities, Ravan was killed because Ravan lacked humility. Ravan lacked humbleness. Until and unless you're humble, no quality will stay with you. And if you are humble, just as a cow comes running after a cow, similarly, all the qualities come running to you after your humility. So the first learning that we must take, we must absorb in our lives from Kevat and Shabari is humility. Such humble were these two characters that even the names of these two characters are not known to anyone.
શબરી માતાનું નામ શું છે? જેની કથા કરવા બેઠો છું એનું નામ તો હું જાણું નહીં, જાન પાયા. अरे मैं क्या, बड़े बड़े लोग नहीं जान पाए।
Even the people who had been so learned in their lives could never know the name of these two
तो
characters.
हम कुछ नहीं करते हैं।
And if we imagine our own personalities, we might not be doing anything great. But you see, we want to put our names as very high. After Srila Prabhupada in Iskcon, we would each one of us want to propagate our own names. But when there is name, there is no hurry.
अपने नाम को,
And that is the reason
को छिपा कर रखना
one
चाहिए।
must hide the name and one's influence.
और यदि हम विनम्रता न रखें,
And if we are not humble,
अकड़ कर रहे,
if we act
झुके नहीं,
with
प्रणाम
all
नहीं करें,
pride,
तो एक ना एक दिन गिर जाएंगे।
you see, one thing is for sure that one day we will fall down, definitely.
जब बुढ़ापा आता है, तो बुढ़ापे में
Once a question was asked, why
बिल्कुल
at
दांत
an
के
old
साथ होती है
age
ना, ये टंग, ये जीभ जो है ना,
the teeth falls down? Why not the tongue falls down? Why only the teeth gets uprooted and not the tongue?
लेकिन दांत सबसे पहले गिर जाते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि दांत जो ना
What is the
मजबूत
reason
रहते हैं, और
why
जब
teeth
अकड़ते
gets
रहते हैं,
uprooted in the old age? The reason being
मुड़ती रहती है,
the
झुकती
teeth
रहती है, ढलती रहती है,
stays
अपने आप को adjust
stiffened,
करती रहती है। जिसने adjust कर लिया,
and those who stays rigid will definitely fall, while the tongue keeps on adjusting itself, remains flexible. So those who stays rigid will definitely fall down, but those who would adjust and be flexible
adjust करना सीखे,
will remain alive. So one must learn to be flexible and humble like the
माँ
tongue.
गंगा की तरह यह पवित्र धारा,
The sampradaya that we all belong to, Brahma Madhya Gaudiya
इस
Dhara,
संप्रदाय के आभूषण श्री रूप और सनातन,
you see, we have beautiful ornamental figures like Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami.
विनम्र करके रखे।
See how humble they used to maintain
महाराज
themselves.
हुसैन शाह के वहाँ मंत्र
Under
हुआ करते थे।
Hussain Shah, these two brothers used to be they used to have lakhs and lakhs of income.
महाप्रभु से मिलने गए,
But when they met Chaitanya
तो
Mahaprabhu,
दांतों में तीर्ण रखकर, मतलब भाव ये था कि हम तीर्ण से भी अधिक गए गुजरे हैं।
the mood with which they
कंधे पर डाल
went on to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that they are fallen even than that of a straw of a grass.
गले मिलने जाते हैं, ये महाप्रभु से दूर भागते, नहीं
Mahaprabhu went on to embrace them, but the two brothers said, must you not touch us? We are very fallen souls. Please do not take a touch of us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes on to witness. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets on to see that how pure souls are these two brothers. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went on to utter,
अरे तुम दोनों का दैन्य देखकर, तुम दोनों की विनम्रता देखकर मेरा मन फट रहा है।
oh, you two brothers, my heart comes to my mouth. Looking at your humility, looking at your humbleness, my heart comes out to my mouth.
आज तुम दब्बीर खास नहीं हो, तुम
From today, you're not the Beer Khas and Sakar Malik. Rather, I accept you, and from today, you are Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave them the name of Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and that is how he went on to accept Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Many a times people ask, what are the qualifications to get initiation and Diksha? So the first qualification to get initiation is humility, humbleness. Dear devotees, I would always keep on reminding you that the vehicle of Lord Sri Vishnu is Garud. Bhagwan Vishnu travels on Garud. The Vahan, the vehicle of Lord Shiva, is Nandi.
गणेश जी का वाहन मूषक है,
The vehicle of Lord Ganesha is Mushak.
सवार होकर चलता है। लेकिन यदि मन में प्रश्न हो
But if
कि
you had
भक्ति महारानी
a
का वाहन
question
क्या है,
in your mind, what
भक्ति
is
महारानी किस
the vehicle of Bhakti
भक्ति
Maharani?
महारानी किस आसन पर बैठती है?
On what asan Bhakti Maharani sits?
शिव जी नंदी पर, भगवान विष्णु गरुड़ पर, गणेश जी मूषक पर, तो भक्ति कहाँ बैठती है?
Where would Bhakti
भक्ति का
Maharani
एक
be
ही
sitting?
आसन है,
There is only one asan, there is only one vehicle of Bhakti Maharani, and that is Vinamrita, humility, humbleness.
भक्ति टिके,
As long as we are humble in our
भक्ति
lives,
फलेगी फूलोगी।
Bhakti
लेकिन
would increase manifold, but the day humility, humbleness goes out of our lives,
जब अपनी
Bhakti will go on to fall. The day you start speaking about your own pride and prestige, there will be disappearance of Bhakti Maharani. Kevad and Shabari are such characters. जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, अब हरि है तो मैं नहीं.
परंपरा के प्रथम प्रेमी श्री
You know,
माधवेंद्रपुरी को मैं याद करूं।
Our first, the premi of our parampara, Madhavendra Puri, I am reminded of Madhavendra Puri.
चंदन लेने गए, मार्ग में
Madhavendra Puri went to Jagannath Puri to get chandan on the instructions of Lord,
खीर का भोग लगाया,
and he offered
मन में शुद्ध भावना
kheer to
कि ये
Madhavendra
खीर
Puri.
मुझे खाने को मिल जाए तो टेस्ट पता चले, मेरे
Now,
प्रिय श्रीनाथ जी को गोपाल
Madhavendra
जी
Puri
से
got to have this thought that if I could have this kheer so that I can offer to my Lord.
भगवान
But
को
in the
खिलाने की बात में
second moment,
मेरे खाने की बात कहाँ से आ गई?
how come I developed the thought of
मतलब यहाँ तो भगवान
me
का स्थान है,
having a taste
वहाँ
of this
मुझे
kheer
खीर मिल जाए।
instead of offering it to the Lord?
माधवेंद्रपुरी उस पूरे दिन तक निर्जला उपवास किए, बोले मेरे से
And because of this guilt, Madhavendra Puri observed fast throughout the day, the Nirjala fast. Because when there is Hari, there is no me, no I. How can I even have a thought of tasting the kheer? This is how Madhavendra Puri in guilt observed fast throughout the day. Throughout Ramayana, these are two characters who are full of humility and devotion, and whose names could not be known to anyone. Now, let us develop upon one more glory about these two characters.
रामायण में दो ऐसे पात्र हैं जिन पात्रों ने भगवान से मांगा नहीं।
There are two characters in Ramayana who never asked
भगवान ने इनको भक्ति
anything from Ram, but without even asking for, Lord Ram went on to offer bhakti to the two characters.
जिन्होंने भगवान से भक्ति मांगी नहीं है।
So there are two characters in Ramayana who never asked bhakti from Lord Shri Ram, but without even asking, Lord Ram went on to offer bhakti to these two characters. So who are these two characters? Once again, it is Kevad and Shabari.
पूरे इतिहास में दो पात्र ऐसे निकले
Only two characters in the history who never asked anything from the Lord, but Lord offered bhakti without even asking for it. Let us witness it now.
मैं आपको प्रश्न पूछूं, क्या
Now, let me ask a question to you. Can Lord offer bhakti to anyone?
भगवान किसी को धन दे दे समझ में आया,
Lord can offer wealth,
रूप दे दे,
knowledge,
भक्ति
roop, appearance.
भगवान किसी को
But what about bhakti?
दूसरा बिना मांगे
On one hand, Lord cannot offer bhakti, and on the other hand, without even asking for it, how can bhakti be offered? You see, we have seen in Bhagvat Gita that whosoever asks, the same thing is offered.
बिना मांगे भक्ति
Now, such a Lord, how come Lord offer bhakti without even asking for it
और शबरी
is very interesting.
बहुत सुंदर प्रसंग है, आप देख सकते हैं।
Let us focus on
पटनी परिवार के
the
आयोजन
chaupai on the screens, at the bottom
इसे
of the
स्पर्श किया
screens.
था, लेकिन इस पॉइंट पर हमने चर्चा नहीं की थी। इस चर्चा को लेकर हम आगे बढ़ेंगे। ये वो प्रसंग है जहां केवट ने राम जी के चरण धोए, राम जी
The context is Kevat went on to wash the lotus feet of the Lord, took him on his shoulders, carried him across the river on his boat, and Sri Ram, Janki and Lakshman
तो केवट की मजदूरी
comes out of the boat, and Lord Sri Ram
केवट को
now wants to offer Uttarai to Kevat.
केवट को सोने की मुद्रिका देते हैं।
At this
केवट
juncture,
ये सोने की
Lord Ram offers a gold ring, a gold finger ring to Kevat for rowing him across River Ganga.
तब केवट कहता है प्रभु
At this point, Kevat denies taking the gold finger ring. So the Kevat says something like this.
चाहिए मोरे दीन दयाल अनुग्रह तोरे, दीन दयाल अनुग्रह तो फिरती बार मोही झोंक छुदेवा। केवट कहता है फिरती बार मोही झोंक छुदेवा, सो प्रसाद में शीर धरि लेवा। नाथ आज मैं काहूँ न पावा, मीटे दोष दुख दारिद दावा। हे नाथ आज मुझे क्या नहीं मिला।
Oh Lord, what have I not achieved today?
जन्मों से मैं मजदूरी करते आया हूँ।
I have been laboring hard from numerous births. Today I have got the returns of all my labor and hard work. I have got the opportunity to wash your lotus feet. What else can I ask for? Lord Ram insists, but must you take this gold finger ring? But Kevat does not agree to take the gold finger ring. And now comes the shloka, which is there at the bottom of your screens.
बहुत कीन प्रभु लखन सिया, नहीं कछु केवटू ले, विदा कीन करुणा जतन, भक्ति विमल बरुदे। एक एक शब्द को समझने का प्रयास कीजिए।
Now, let us understand each and every word of this chaupai. So, it goes बहुत की,
माने बहुत किया, तो बहुत कीन माने बहुत प्रयास किया,
means much efforts were put in by Lord Prabhu, Lord Ram and Lakhan. So huge efforts were put in by Lord Ram, by Lord Lakshman. So Lord Shri Ram made huge efforts to convince Kevat to take the gold finger ring.
जब राम का प्रयास विफल गया तो राम ने लक्ष्मण को
But Lord Ram did not succeed, and that's when Lord Ram indicated to Lakshman. Now, Lakshman ji made huge efforts again to convince Kevat to take the gold finger ring, and when even Lord Lakshman failed, then Sita Maya made huge efforts to convince Kevat to take the gold finger ring. But when all the three failed to convince Kevat, and Kevat did not take anything.
बहुत कीन बहुत अच्छा बहुत कीन के तीन अर्थ है बहुत
You see,
किया
there are three meanings to Bahut Kin.
बड़ा आग्रह
Means
किया ले लो
huge requests were
बहुत
made.
माने दूसरा अर्थ है बहुत
The second meaning means
अलग अलग
many efforts were put by,
को समझाने का प्रयास
many ways were adopted to convince
बहुत
Kevat,
समझाया
and
कि
you
लेना
see,
चाहिए ले लो
through many ways he was counseled.
अब नहीं ले रहा है तो छोड़ो ना यार तुम इतना प्रयास क्यों कर रहे हो
But you see, in case he is not getting convinced not to take anything, then why Lord Ram, Lakshman, and Sita Maya is making huge efforts to convince Kevat to take the gold finger ring? And why did they do so? Let us try to understand this. Why at all the three made huge efforts?
लक्ष्मण राम और सीता जी ने केवट को देने का बहुत प्रयास किया कारण तो नीति में बहुत सुंदर लिखा है आप श्लोक देख सकते हैं
So let us understand why all the three made huge efforts to convince Kevat to take something, particularly the gold finger ring, for rowing them across River Ganga. Let us see at the top right hand side of your screen, and the shloka goes something like this.
क्षिप्रमेव प्रकर्तव्यम क्योंकि कालो विवर्तित रस कालो विवर्तित रस जीवन में बहुत काम आएगा राम लक्ष्मण और सीता बहुत कीन प्रभु लखन सिया केवट को वो मुद्रिका देने का बहुत प्रयास
You
किए
see, all the three, Ram, Lakshman, Janaki, made huge efforts to offer that gold finger ring to Kevat.
श्लोक लिखा है जो ऊपर
There's one shloka in Niti.
ये ठीक है वो कहते हैं आदानस्य प्रदानस्य
So it goes something like this.
किसी से आपने कुछ लिया हो और उसको वापस लौटाना हो उसे कहते हैं आदान और दूसरा है प्रदान आदान का अर्थ है किसी का लिया हुआ वापस लौटाना
You see, the meaning of Adan is to give back what you have taken from somebody.
किसी का लिया हुआ यदि वापस लौटाना हो एक
And the second thing is Pradan.
टोटली आपकी ओर से किसी को गिफ्ट
So Pradan means that you're gifting something to somebody. So Adan is giving back to somebody what you've taken from,
वापस देना हो
and Pradan is actually offering from your own end to somebody.
दूसरा तीसरा कर्तव्य सेव कर्मण या फिर किसी भी प्रकार का कर्तव्य
Or the third sense is that it is your responsibility to offer something to somebody.
या फिर आपको पुण्य कमाने के लिए कुछ करना है
Or the fourth one being that you want to earn some punya
तीसरी लाइन में
by
कहते
offering something to somebody.
हैं तुरंत कर देने चाहिए
And the third line says that if these are the objectives, must you do this immediately.
तुरंत लौटा दीजिए
So you must give back what you have taken from somebody, you must do that immediately. Or that if you want to offer something to somebody, it's a service, you must do that immediately. And if your responsibility is pending, must you do it immediately.
क्यों
or that if you want to earn some punya, you must do that immediately. And why should it be done immediately? The reason is being explained in the fourth line. By accomplishing these tasks, you would be devoid of any such phal or any result out of these activities.
चलो देरी से सही, थोड़ा लेट तो लेट करके भी हमने दिया तो है.
Now you must be questioning the fine maybe in a delayed manner, but at least we did something. But the fact is, after the opportunity is over, after the opportune time gets over, you will not get the desired result. Then you can question, where would that result go? Where would that desired result in fruit go? So the fourth line says that such a desired result would be taken up and consumed by the time. Hence, must you not delay in doing a good task or shubh sankalp or omnious task. Must you do it immediately? Must you not miss out on time? I am reminded of a Gujarati bhajan. Allow me to sing that.
સમય મળે નહીં સાધુ છે મહેમાન, શિર મળે પણ સમય મળે નહીં ને સાધુ છે મહેમાન. અવસર આવે પાછા ન ફરીએ, અવસર આવે પાછા ન ફરીએ ને કાયા થાય કુરબાન. મેરા મણ માજા ન મૂકે અને છેલૈયો સતના છૂકે. મેરા મણ માજા ન મૂકે અને છેલૈયો સતના છૂકે. अवसर आने पर काम कर देना ये बुद्धिमानी है.
Accomplishing a task at the right opportune time is intelligence. And if the opportune time passes by and then you do the task, then you will not get the desired result and the fruit, because the time would eat it away. Hence, dear devotees, must you accomplish a task right at the opportune time. For example, we had Janmashtami the last week. It was the birthday of Lord Shri Krishna. You see, many sevas are done at around those times. So you see, offering the services at the opportune time is really very much meaningful, and not after 2 months. Just before some time, just before some days of Janmashtami was Raksha Bandhan, where the sister arrives at the brother's home, and the brother is supposed to offer services to the sister. And if a brother thinks he might do it at a later point of time, it makes no sense. You don't get the desired result. So those who understand the opportunity, those who understand time, must you accomplish those tasks immediately at the most opportune time. And such deeds would attract complete desired fruits and results. And that is the reason Lord Shri Ram, Janki and Lakshmanji are making utmost effort to convince Kevat to take that gold finger ring. But Kevat refused to take, was reluctant to take, and he did not take. And Kevat was able to convince all the three to agree to him not to take the gold finger ring. And as all the three left for that place, Kevat did not take anything from Lord, and he offered
तो
and he
करुणा
bid adieu to
करुणा
Lord
ये
Sri Ram.
राम जी के हृदय में इतनी करुणा हुई कि भक्ति बिमल बरु दे
And you see the heart of Lord Sri Ram, who is Karuna Nidhi. His heart was so full with love towards Kevat that he went on to offer bhakti to Kevat. So without even asking for it, Kevat was given bhakti by Lord Shri Ram.
राम भक्ति कृष्ण भक्ति वर्धन होते रहेगी.
Lord Shri Ram offered him the boon that Ram Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti would continue to flourish in your family.
रामायण का ये एक पात्र, रामायण क्या पूरे इतिहास में खोज लीजिए.
You see one such character in the entire history, you see,
बिना मांगे राम जी ने उनको भक्ति दे दी.
who went on to get bhakti without even asking for it. But interestingly, it is not just bhakti, but actually bhakti bimal. That is what he was offered. Bimal bhakti means without any pollutant. So bimal bhakti means nishkam bhakti, vishuddha bhakti. Bimal Bhakti means Nirmal Bhakti. Lord Ram went on to offer Bimal Bhakti to Kevat, Nishkam Bhakti to Kevat, Vishuddha Bhakti to Kevat, means Ananya Bhakti. Nirmal Bhakti means without any obstacles, without any obstruction, you would be able to offer Bhakti.
बाल की खाल निकालना एक आदत सी है, तो और एक पॉइंट समझिए.
Because we develop more and more into deeper meanings, let us understand it a little further.
भक्ति नहीं दे सकते, ये तो मानना.
Lord can offer everything to humans and devotees, but he cannot offer bhakti. How come Lord offer one's own bhakti to devotees? The bhakti which was not offered by Lord to Narad and Sanak, etc. How come Lord Ram, without even asking for it, offered the same bhakti to Kevat? The reason for it is given in the second line of this chaupai. Vidya keen karunayatan bhakti. So Lord had to engage in karuna, that is mercy, and yatan, that is effort. Lord had to engage in huge efforts and mercy to offer to Kevat Vimal Bhakti. So Lord Ram might have had to visit his pure devotees to take Vimal Bhakti from them and offer it to Kevat. So with mercy and with lot of effort, Lord Ram went on to offer Vimal Bhakti to Kevat. So the blessings of Shuddha Bhakti can only happen to such people who goes on to reject the pleasures of the material life. What did Kevat do? He rejected the bhog given by Lakshmi ji herself. So Shri ji and Lakshman ji and Lord Shri Ram gets on to become merciful and happy on such pure devotees. In this manner, Lord went on to have huge efforts and mercy to offer Vimal Bhakti to Kevat. Dear devotees, I would want to bring in one particular instance of Shrimad Bhagavatam. You see, and that instance is if we go on to ask from Lord, Lord might not offer you that much. But you see, if you engage in continuous devotion and don't ask anything from Lord, Lord gives you uttermost things.
श्रीमद् भागवत के 5वें स्कंद में
In fifth canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam,
जड़ भरत जी की कथा है।
there is the story of Jad Bharat ji.
प्रभुगण जी का मिलन होता है, आप सब जानते हैं।
Jad Bharat ji and Raghunath goes on to meet each other. And then Shukdev Goswami Maharaj
जम्बू द्वीप का वर्णन करता है।
goes on to mention about Jambu Dweep.
में भारत खंड है, भारतवर्ष
So
है,
there is
और
Bharatvarsh in Jambu Dweep,
रहते हैं।
and in Bharatvarsh there is Manusya.
और उस भारतवर्ष की महिमा क्या है?
And what is the glory of this Bharatvarsh?
वर्ष की महिमा
Devji goes
देव
on to say, how can I mention the glory of Bharatvarsha, because it is sung by the demigods of heaven. You see the context, which is there on your screens.
सुखदेव गोस्वामी कहते हैं एतद्
Shukdev Goswami goes on to say, Etad Deva Hi Deva
इस
Gayanti.
प्रकार से देवता गाते हैं।
In this manner, demigods
ये-
go on to
ये
sing.
जो श्लोक आएगा ये सब देवता गा रहे हैं।
See, all these shlokas are being sung by the demigods.
तो हमसे अधिक भगवान का अनुभव जो है ना देवताओं को है। और एतदेव ही देवा गायन्ति, देवता गाते हैं।
So the demigods go on to sing something like this.
अहो अमीशां किम कारी शोभनम् प्रसन्न येषाम् स्विदुत स्वयं हरि यर्जन्मलब्धं नृषुवा रताजिरे मुकुंद सेवो पैकम स्पृहाहिना। तो देवा गायन्ति, देवता
The demigods go on to sing.
अहो अमीशाम, अहो माने
Aho Amisham. Aho means in a sad mode.
देवता अफसोस करते हैं अहो अमीशाम।
So regretfully, the demigods go on to say,
ओह, इस भारतवर्ष में रहने वाले मनुष्यों ने अहो अमीशाम, अमीशाम माने हम लोगों ने हैं? ये
the
मोहनदास
demigods go on to say, Aho Amisham Kimkari Shobhanam.
ये जितने भी भारत वाले हैं, अहो अमीशाम किमकारी, ये भारत में रहने वालों ने ऐसा क्या किया?
What have these people living in India have done?
ऐसा कौन सा कर्म किया है?
What kind of beautiful
अहो
tasks
अमीशाम
have these
किमकारी
people accomplished?
भारतवर्ष में रहने वाले, आप श्लोक में देख सकते हैं, भारतवर्ष में रहने वाले लोगों ने ऐसा
Those who live in Bharatvarsh,
किया
what kind of great tasks, what kind of punya karma have they performed, because of which
स्वयं हरि भगवान कृष्ण
because of which
पर प्रसन्न हो
Lord Vishnu has become so merciful upon them?
ने ऐसा क्या कर्म किया है जिससे स्वयं हरि प्रसन्न ऐशाम इन लोगों के ऊपर प्रसन्न हो गए?
What task have they accomplished because of which
मान लो देवता
Lord Hari has become so happy upon them?
भगवान हरि प्रसन्न है। अच्छा, प्रसन्न होकर हरि ने मनुष्य को क्या दे दिया?
So being merciful and happy upon these people, what has Hari offered them?
प्रसन्न होता है। इसी
Hari,
लाइन में यह जन्म लब्धम, उस मनुष्य का जन्म भारत आजिरे, भारतवर्ष में
so
होता
if
है।
God becomes happy with a person,
जिस
then such a person
हरि
gets
प्रसन्न
on
होता
to
है,
take
उस
birth
मनुष्य
in
का
Bharat
जन्म
Varsha.
भारतवर्ष में होता है। देवता भगवान से कहते हैं मुकुंद
Now the demigods go on to offer prayers to Lord Hari and they say,
कि हमारा जन्म
O
भारत
Lord,
हो
we are desirous of taking a birth in Bharatvarsha, and having taken birth at Bharatvarsha, we want to serve at your lotus feet.
आपके चरणों की सेवा करने के लिए तो मानो हम लोग देवताओं को कहे कि केम તમને ને ગમતું નથી.
So imagine now we can tell to the demigods, we can say, don't you feel comfortable there at heavens? Why do you want to come here on earth in India? Now the demigods find a reply in the form of the shloka which is there on your screens right inside. The demigods go on to say,
इस स्वर्ग में हमारी आयुष्य कितनी है? कल्प आयुषाम. देवतागण कहता है कल्प आयुषाम स्थानम.
So the demigods go on to say, the place where we live in, we go on to have life of one kal, one day of Brahmaji, which is one kal.
इस स्वर्ग में हमें कल्प की आयुष्य मिली है.
We have got the life of a kal.
लेकिन कल्प की आयुष्य मिलकर भी हमें फिर से
But despite such a long life, we have to die again and take the birth again.
क्षण आयुष्य भारत भूमि में मिल जाए, स्वर्ग लोक में कल्प वर्ष की आयुष्य और भारत वर्ष में एक क्षण की आयुष्य, हम उसे अधिक मानते हैं.
But we consider one moment of life in Bharatvarsha far more glorious than one kalpa of age in the heavens. So one moment of life in Bharatvarsh is far more better than age of one kalp in heavens. Living for crores and crores of years in heavens is nowhere close to even one moment of life in Bharatvarsha. And the reason for this is because in Bharatvarsha, people can go on to achieve the lotus feet of the Lord by remembering the Lord even for a moment. People living in Bharatvarsha can go on to attain Vaikuntha, remembering the lotus feet of the Lord by remembering Lord even for a moment. And hence the demigods go on to say something like this. What is there on the screens before you?
अद्भुत. न यत्र वैकुंठ कथा सुधा पगा. जिस स्थान पर वैकुंठ माने भगवान श्री कृष्ण की कथा की नदी नहीं बहती है,
The place where there is no river, no stream of the katha of Lord Shri Krishna. The place where there is no living of the pure devotees of the Lord. The place where there is no seva of Arch Vigraha of the Lord. Even if that place is the heavens of the demigods, but such a place is not worthy of living. So such a place where there is no Krishna Seva, Krishna Katha, where there is no arrival of the sadhu and sant, such place is not worthy of living. Now the point that I wanted to bring across to you, so Kevat did not take anything from the Lord, and because he did not take anything from the Lord, and hence Lord, without even asking for it, Lord went on to offer him his Shuddha Bhakti. Now the demigods go on to very beautifully say that Bharatvarsh is so fortunate, the people of Bharatvarsha is so fortunate But unfortunately, it's very unfortunate for the people of Bharatvarsha that they do not understand this fortune.
सत्य माने निश्चित, ये बात बिल्कुल सत्य है, और सत्य माने भगवान कृष्ण। बोले ये बिल्कुल सत्य है कि परम सत्य भगवान कृष्ण दिशति, दिशति माने देते हैं।
So this is utmost true that Lord Krishna goes on to offer.
क्या देते हैं? अर्थित अर्थितो निर्नाम, मनुष्य जो कामना करता है,
Lord Shri Krishna goes on to offer all the desires of Manushya.
मनुष्य, अब भारतवर्ष में रहने वाले मनुष्यों का दुर्भाग्य बोल रहे हैं देवता।
Now you see the demigods are speaking about
कि
the
सत्यम, ये बिल्कुल
misfortune
सत्य है, ठीक है,
of the people living in Bharatvarsha. So it is true
इच्छा अनुसार वस्तु देते हैं।
that Lord goes on to offer whatever one desires from the Lord. But what is the real thing? The real thing is Lord goes on to offer whatever is asked from him. But such a thing is actually when somebody asks something from the Lord, but that is not the real giving, that is not the real offering. So if you ask something from the Lord, but that is not the real achievement. Why is it so that that is not the real achievement?
क्योंकि भगवान उसको कुछ देने के बाद वो फिर से कुछ मांगता है।
Because once the Lord offers him something, the person goes on to ask something or the other again and again. So because he is asking over and over again, that means he has not achieved the ultimate thing.
तो जो भगवान से कुछ मांगते हैं,
So those who ask from the Lord something or the other, they do not get the real thing.
लेकिन तीसरी लाइन में कहते हैं सत्यम विद्यते भजताम अनिच्छता, लेकिन जो भगवान का भजन करता है,
But those who engage in bhajans of the Lord, and just like Kevat, he does not ask for any desire from the Lord. He engages in true kirtan, and he does not seek any achievement or any desire from the Lord. Then Lord, without even asking for it, goes on to offer two things. Imagine, Lord goes on to offer whatever one desires from the Lord. But those who do not seek any desire fulfillment from Lord, Lord goes on to offer. Lord goes on to kill all the desires of such a person who does not desire anything from the Lord. And secondly, Lord goes on to offer his lotus feet to that devotee. So such devotees who do not desire anything from the Lord, Lord goes on to kill all his desires and without even asking, goes on to offer his lotus feet. What does this mean? Lord goes on to offer his bhakti to such a devotee who does not desire anything from the Lord. So, one of the two characters is Kevat, who did not desire anything from the Lord, and that is Kevat. And the second one being Shabari. Again, Shabari also did not desire anything from the Lord. Shabari did not ask even a single thing from the Lord. Lord went on to shower everything without even asking for it.
तो ही पाही सावधान सुनो धरो मन माही
सोई अतिशय प्रिय भामिनी मोरे सकल प्रकार भगति दृढ़ तोरे। नवदा भगति कहूं तो ही पाही, ये राम जी के वचन है।
Lord Ram goes on to say, Navda Bhakti kahun tuhi pahe. Shabari did not desire anything of this sort, but this is what Lord Ram said.
लेकिन बिना कहे पूछे मांगे, राम जी ने कहा शबरी,
So without even asking for it, Lord Shri Ram goes on to say, Shabari, I am going to tell you about Navda Bhakti. Those who engage in Navda Bhakti are very dear to me, O Shabari. O Shabari, I go on to give you this offering. O Shabari, I offer you this Navda Bhakti within you. This Navda Bhakti, we emanate from you in all its forms. This is what I offer you, O Shabari. And hence, in this manner, two characters whose names are not mentioned anywhere, two such characters who went on to be blessed with bhakti without even asking for it. So being the first day, the Katha goes on to get its completion for the day. But before we do that, we would be interested for a small Katha of Shabari Mata. Who is Shabari Mata? You might have heard about the previous births of Shabari Mata. Whatever she might have been, we will deliver upon it in the upcoming days.
शबरी माता और कोई नहीं, शबरी माता बहुत बड़ी चीज है।
You see, Shabari Mata is very glorious a character. Once it so happened in Chitrakoot, there was this saint by the name of Bhajananandi. Day in and day out he would engage in bhajan. He was a great Mahatma. One langot, one patra, and he would have vibhuti on his body and continuously engage in chanting of the holy name. Bhagwan Narayan in those days in Vaikuntha, but he is interested to listen to his katha. So sometimes Narayan would come to the saint to listen to his own katha, and he would engage in the katha and enjoy a lot of pleasure. So the principle is very well known to you. Lakshmi ji went on to ask a question to Narayan ji. Oh my lord, every day you keep on going, where do you go? Bhagwan Narayan answered to Lakshmi ji, Oh Lakshmi ji, I visit Chitrakoot because there is a saint who narrates this katha very nicely and it gives me a lot of pleasure. He does not possess anything and continuously engages in chanting of the holy name. I get a lot of pleasure listening to his kathas. Now Lakshmiji countered, why do you enjoy all by yourself the entire pleasure? Must you also take me along with you? Bhagwan answered,
जानती नहीं है, बड़ा
O
फकीर
Lakshmi, you do not know this saint.
वैरागी है।
He is a Vairagi, he is a
पर
sannyasi.
सच कहता हूँ कि
And trust me,
तुम वहां मत आओ, वो तुम्हें वहां से हटा देगा,
you
तुम्हारे
should not come
काम नहीं
there.
कर
You
सकता।
see, he will push you out and he might even insult
कथा
you.
सुनाने वाला,
Lakshmi ji
मैं भी
answered,
विष्णु नारायण के मन को हरने वाला।
somebody who says
यदि
beautiful
हमारा
katha
कोई
who
करे तो
has
हमें कोई चिंता
stolen the
नहीं,
heart of
मुझे
my
भी
husband
छोड़ दो।
Hari, I'm not worried about my
भगवान
respect, but
नारायण
must
ने
you
बहुत
take me
मना
along
किया
with him?
लक्ष्मी जी को, लेकिन मानी नहीं।
Narayan attempted huge number of times to convince Lakshmi ji not to
तो
go to
आज
the
भगवान
ashram.
नारायण अपनी पत्नी
So
लक्ष्मी को
today,
साथ में लेकर
Lord
चित्रकूट
Narayan,
आए।
along with
जैसे ही
Lakshmi
महात्मा
ji, comes to
चित्रकूट पहुंचे,
Chitrakoot.
महात्मा ने आंखें ऐसे खोल के, बूढ़े थे, बोले साधु कौन आई
As
है?
they reach the ashram,
महात्मा ने डांट कर कहा,
Mahatma opened
कथा
his
अधूरी
eyes and
सुनी जाए कि
asked,
पत्नी को साथ में बिठाकर
whom
सुनिए।
have you brought along
इसलिए
with you?
Zoom वाले अमृत
How
चले
come
हैं।
have you brought a lady with yourself, your wife with
पत्नी को घर
you?
छोड़कर आओ,
You should
मैं भी
listen
चलूंगा, मैं भी
katha
वैरागी सन्यासी हूँ।
all by yourself. Don't you know I'm a Vairagi?
महाराज मेरी पत्नी है,
Lord
पर
Narayan
आपकी
said,
कथा
Oh
सुनने
Maharaj,
के
she
लिए
is my wife and she is very eager to listen to your katha.
और वैकुंठ वासिनी है। वैकुंठ
And she is Vaikunt Vasini.
वैकुंठ छोड़कर यहाँ क्यों आई है?
So the Vairagi answered, why has she
वैकुंठ
left
लेकर रहते हैं,
Vaikunt and arrived here?
और इन माई दाई के बीच में कहाँ कथा करेंगे?
I am Virat, Vairagi.
तो अच्छा है,
How come I narrate the
कोई बात नहीं, तुम
katha
यहाँ
in
मेरे
her
साथ बैठो
presence?
और उसको वहाँ
Vairagi said, okay, fine. You sit along with me
लक्ष्मी
here
को
and
मिल
make
गया
her sit
उसका नाम साधु।
far away under the tree.
साधु को किसी की पड़ी नहीं होती।
Those
लक्ष्मी जी
who
मन
can
में
make
सोचती
Lakshmi ji sit afar
पूरी दुनिया मेरे पीछे
is
साधु।
actually a sadhu. Now Lakshmi
पर
ji was
ये
wondering,
साधु
how come the entire
मुझे
world is
देखने
mad
में
after me and this
एक
sadhu
कमाल का आदमी है।
is making me sit at far of a
लक्ष्मी जी ने कथा
distance?
सुनी,
Definitely there is
शायद
something intriguing.
श्रद्धा जम गई। अब तो लक्ष्मी जी
Now the sadhu started narrating the
मैं भी
katha
आऊंगी,
and
मैं
Lakshmi
भी
ji
आऊंगी।
started liking it and she also started coming every day.
ये दूर पेड़ के नीचे
Bhagwan Narayan would sit closer to the sadhu and Lakshmi ji would listen to the katha at a far off
श्रद्धा लगी।
tree. Now she also
लक्ष्मी जी
developed
ने के मन में
devotion towards the sadhu.
इतने पवित्र महात्मा को यदि हम वैकुंठ लेकर जाए, ज्यादा नहीं, एक दिन वैकुंठ में पगला रख दे, पगला हैं? एक दिन अपने चरण
Now
वैकुंठ
Lakshmi
महात्मा
ji
जी के पड़
got
जाए,
to
हमारा
develop
वैकुंठ
this
धन्य हो
thought,
जाएगा।
if such a sadhu can
लक्ष्मी जी ने
once
भगवान से
come to
कहा,
Vaikunt,
प्रभु पति
then Vaikunt would be so
इस
blessed.
महात्मा के
Now
एक
Lakshmi ji
चरण
made a
वैकुंठ में पगला दो
request
ना।
to Narayan
भगवान ने
ji
कहा,
that
पागल
must you set his foot
कथा सुनकर चले
on
जाओ,
Vaikunt
के चरण
once
में
for
पड़ना
sure.
चाहिए। साधु जोगी अगन जल इनकी उल्टी रीत, ये भगवान ने कहा।
Narayan ji said, O
साधु
Lakshmi, must you
जोगी
not fall in the trap
इनकी
of these
उल्टी रीत,
sadhus?
परशुराम बच के रहो, थोड़ी कीजिए प्रीत। ये लोग के साथ ज्यादा प्रीत नहीं करनी चाहिए।
If you develop too much of affection with these sadhus,
नहीं 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 नहीं,
it can be harmful.
पगला करा दो।
But Lakshmi
एक
ji
बार तो वैकुंठ में
was
अब पत्नी के साथ
continuously requesting before Narayan
मालिक, लेकिन
that
लक्ष्मी
must
जी ने
you
कहा,
get this
इसने रिस्क ले लिया।
sadhu to
कथा
Vaikunt.
के बाद प्रणाम किया।
Now Narayan ji
और
offered his
साधु
obeisances after katha to the sadhu. O Mahatman,
महात्मा जी आप एक दिन वैकुंठ चलोगे?
may you please come along with me to Vaikunt once. Now Mahatma ji lost his patience.
मुझे मारना क्यों चाहता है?
Mahatma ji said, I am very happy. Are you bent upon killing me? Are you not liking me that I am living my life?
का मतलब क्या है? मरने के बाद ही तो बंदा जाता है। बोले नहीं नहीं,
Sadhu
आप
said,
आप मरोगे नहीं।
people reach Vaikunt only after death. Narayan ji said, you will not die. I will send my Gurun and you will come to Vaikunt with this body and come back again after a day.
आ जाता हूँ।
Now the sadhu agreed.
वैकुंठ में प्रोग्राम,
Now you see the date had been fixed.
गृहस्थियों का ये धर्म है, साधु संतों को अपने घर पर बुलाना,
And you
सत्संग
see, the
कराना,
program was
ये सब
fixed
भगवान ने सिखाया है।
in Vaikunt. You see, these
गरीब को ले
grahasthas
आओ,
must
महात्मा
learn
जी
how
बोले,
you should
आज महात्मा जी वहीं
invite
पर पहुंचे हैं।
sadhus and engage in kirtan at
और
your
वैकुंठ
home.
पहुंचकर पहले तो लक्ष्मी जी नारायण जी ने स्वागत किया और उनके चरणों में
So the
बैठकर
sadhu was
और कथा
given
की
warm
शुरुआत
reception
की।
by Lakshmi ji and
वैकुंठ
Narayan
को
ji,
भोजन परोसा
and the katha was
और
narrated
महात्मा
by the
के सामने
sadhu.
सोने
After
का
the katha, you
सोने
see,
का
on
बर्तन,
gold
सोने
plates,
का ग्लास
on
और
in
उसमें
gold
सुंदर पूरी,
bowls
सब्जी,
and
मूंगफली,
gold
ढोकला,
glasses,
खमण, पात्रान, लाल
very
चटनी,
sumptuous meals were served to the sadhu.
लक्ष्मी जी ने तो लाइन लगा दी।
Item after item was lined up by Lakshmi ji. Now, Sadhu Maharaj lost his patience.
अरे तुमने ये सब क्या किया है?
Sadhu
हम लोग
Maharaj
साधु
said,
बने हैं
"What have you
और हम लोग
done?
साधु बने हैं गृहस्थों
We are
के हाथ का भोजन
sadhus,
खाने के लिए नहीं।
not
हम लोग फला
to have the
खाते हैं,
meals from the
फला तो हम
grihasthas.
अपने हाथों से बना लेते
We
हैं, हम लोग गृहस्थों का हाथों का नहीं खाते।
stay on the fruits. We don't take meals made by the
लक्ष्मी जी ने
grihasthas."
कहा कि गृहस्थों के
Lakshmi ji
हाथों का नहीं
said,
खाते, हमारे हाथों का तो खा लीजिए।
"You don't eat
अरे आपके
meals
हाथों का
made by
क्यों खाएं?
grihasthas, but
आपने
at
खुद
least you
बनाया
have
है।
offering
लक्ष्मी जी
of what
कहती
we
हैं
are offering
कि
you."
आप भोग बनाकर हमको ही तो भोग लगाते हो। लक्ष्मी नारायण
Lakshmi
जी
ji
कहते हैं,
says that whatever you
आप
make,
हमारा
you eat for
जूठन खा
yourself,
सकते हो,
but you offer it to us and then you have it.
नहीं खा सकते।
If you can eat what you have offered to us, then how come you not accept what we have made for
लक्ष्मी जी को
you?
क्रोध आ गया
Now Lakshmi
कि
ji
हमारा जूठन खा सकते हो,
got
लेकिन हमारे हाथों
annoyed
का भोजन नहीं खा सकते हो। जाओ मैं श्राप देती हूँ,
and I give you the curse.
वैरागी बनने की आदत पड़ गई है, तुमको रोटी पे रोटी धर कर खाने को नहीं मिलेगी।
Now Lakshmi ji got annoyed and she gave the
घी
curse.
ने પછી બીજી रोटी, लेकिन ऐसे करके फिर रोटी को बिल्कुल घी में स्नान करा के खिलाते हैं। लक्ष्मी जी ने साधु को श्राप दिया कि तुमको ऐसी रोटी नहीं मिलेगी। उस दिन से लेकर आज तक बेचारे साधु
Lakshmi ji gave the curse that you sadhus cannot have the chapati on a chapati with ghee.
ऐसी रोटी खाते हैं। साधु ने कहा कोई बात नहीं, हम फक्कड़ हैं,
The sadhu said, "Not to worry, we would consume plain chapati,
हम तो ऐसे
but we would not have what you have made for
कि
us.
हमको रोटी नसीब नहीं होगी तो हम भाखरी बनाकर खा लेंगे।
If we would not have chapatis, we would have
लेकिन
bhakris."
साधु कहते हैं,
But sadhu goes on to say,
जब किया चित्रकूट में अच्छा
"You
सा
see,
भोजन करा,
I was engaged in
तो
bhajan
चित्रकूट से
in
मुझे
Chitrakoot.
बुलाया और
You,
वैकुंठ
on your own will,
श्राप दिया। घर पर आए हुए
got me
साधु
to
को
Vaikunt,
ऐसे
and
श्राप
then you
देना
cursed me in Vaikunt,
तब
the sadhu whom we have invited."
को श्राप दिया,
Then this sadhu went on to curse Lakshmi ji
नीचा काम किया है।
that you have done a
इसलिए
very
श्राप देता हूं कि तुमको
lowly
एक अंश
job,
से शबर कुल में जन्म लेना पड़ेगा।
that you would have to
भूमिका
take
बन रही है।
birth in Shabarkul from one of your elements.
कि आपको अपने एक अंश से शबर कुल में
So
जन्म
from one of your element you would have to take birth in Shabarkul.
बुलाकर साधु का अपमान किया है ना।
You have insulted a sadhu
कुल में तुम जन्म लोगी,
whom you have invited in
और
Vaikunt.
साधु के वहां झाड़ू लगाओगी।
You would take birth in Shabarkul, broom his ashram throughout his life. You would offer services to sadhu and sant. And only with the blessings and mercy of these sadhus and sants, you would gain bhakti, and with that bhakti, you will come back to Vaikunt. And this is how Lakshmi ji, from one of her elements, went on to appear on this earth as Shabari Mata. So Shabari Maya is none other than Lakshmi Mata.
वो तुरंत कहेंगे कि भाई ये तो कपोल कल्पना लग रही है, प्रमाण कहाँ है? कथा तो आपने सुन ली।
Now, there are many intellectual devotees sitting out here.
दूर जाने की जरूरत नहीं, मूल ग्रंथ
They would be questioning that what is the proof of this story?
जब भगवान
You see, in Ramayan,
शबरी जी से मिलते हैं,
there is entire mention of
तब
this.
भगवान राम शबरी को क्या कहते हैं?
when Lord Ram goes on to meet Shabriji for the first time, how Lord Ram addresses Shabri, from that you get to understand this. It is there at the bottom of your screens.
माना हूँ एक भगति करना, भगति हीन नर सोहई कैसा, बिनु जल बारिद देखई जैसा। भगवान रामचंद्र,
Lord Ramchandra, when enters the ashram of Shabriji, what Lord Ramchandra says to Shabri Mata? Kaha Raghupati, Lord Ram said, what is the address that he gave to Shabri Maya? Bhamini Bhata.
क्या कहा? भामिनी। भामिनी, हे भामिनी मेरी बात सुनो। राम जी,
Oh Bhamini, listen to what I say. Kaha Raghupati sunu Bhamini Bata.
कई बार राम जी बोले हैं।
You see, this term Bhamini, this word Bhamini, is uttered by Lord Shri Ram many a times by Lord Ram to Shabri. Now imagine the age of Shabri ji. For how many years did Shabri ji wait for Lord Ram? Lord Matang had left the ashram and he had said that Lord Shri Ram would definitely arrive. 10,000 years had passed by between the departure of Matang Rishi and arrival of Lord Shri Ram. And before that, the age of Shabri was also there. It is mentioned in Ramayan that Shabriji had become too old when Lord Ram had arrived. She was shaking and trembling because of old age. Lord Ram was of 22 years when he had arrived at the ashram of Matanga Rishi. So imagine Shabriji was more than 10,000 years old and Lord Shri Ram was 22 years old. What a young lad of 22 years address a more than 10,000 years old lady as Bhamini. Basically, this term Bhamini is a term which Lord Ram said to his wife Lakshmi. So it is from this term, you see, it is from this term, Bhamini, that Lord Ram addressed Shabri Maya. So we will develop more on this Katha tomorrow onwards. I express my gratitude to each one of you, special gratitude to the host family, Yogesh Bhai Patni, and entire family members from London, Naveen Bhai, Ramesh Bhai, from Australia, Arvind Bhai, from Nairobi, Shobha Mataji. So great thanks to each one of you. So let us bring a close to this Katha.
श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की श्री रामचंद्र भगवान